Hi, welcome back, guys. Before I start this, I just want to mention again that I believe that we will be in martial law by the time I think that Planet X would appear and start its devastation on Earth. And what I had mentioned before in the last video, that Obama made a secret deal with Putin in China as in regards to the false flag financial collapse, which is predicted to be in September of this year. And there will be a lot of events going on this coming September, and the point I wanted to bring up was about the blood moons also, which would be the final blood moon that will take place in September, September 28th of 2015. And this final blood moon, which will coincide with a lunar eclipse, a total lunar eclipse, which would be a sign, a harbinger warning as to war and doom. So war is coming, guys. I'll get into the blood moon and the blood moons. This is a rare occurrence, by the way, and it happens every 500 years. So the last one that took place was back in the 1400s, 1492, 93, which was with the Spanish Inquisition. And I'm sure that you know by familiarity by the name of the Spanish Inquisition. And so that had been about 500 years from that 1967, where Israel took, the Jews took Jerusalem as their capital. Well, I'll go ahead and read this article. I did find this article about Obama's secret meeting while he met with Mormon leaders, and which sparks end-time fears. It says that there was a startling report from the Federal Security Service in the Kremlin, which is from Russia, that was translated between the Russian and Chinese branches of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Church. And yeah, I didn't know there was even a Mormon church in these countries, and there are. And this is a very rich church, about close to rich to the Vatican, I guess you'd say. But the people with the money's got the power. So the Mormon church has the power. But anyway, they say it's chilling in this description of this last week's sudden and unannounced visit by President Barack Obama to Salt Lake City to meet with top church officials there, as a warning that the end times may be here. It says, according to this report, President Obama was previously scheduled to be in Utah on Friday, April the 3rd, which is on Passover. That was Passover. I guess that would be even for the Passover, for his first ever visit to that state. He participated in a new program aimed at appointing U.S. veterans in the solar energy industry. Instead, arrived with no notice on Thursday evening, the 2nd of April, at the Hill Air Force Base, whereupon he was spirited in a high-speed convoy to the Sheraton Hotel in Salt Lake City, about 48 kilometers or 30 miles south of the airbase, where he met in secret with top Mormon church leaders, including President Henry B. Eyring, and President Dieter, and then the elders there of the church, and he met with them. So sudden and secretive was this unscheduled meeting between Obama and the Mormon church leaders. This report continues that U.S. reporters erupted in anger over it, and evident that the article in the Daily Caller news service, which in part said, says the White House Correspondents Association is reportedly crafting a list of demands to be sent to the White House after an incident last week in which a pool of reporters covering the president's visit was turned away from the meeting of Obama and the Mormon leaders. As to why these reporters were not allowed in with the meeting, says it was due to documents that they were all viewing related to what was commonly called the White Horse Prophecy. And the White Horse Prophecy explains that there's a statement that was made in 1843 by Joseph Smith Jr., who was the founder of the Latter-day Saint movement, regarding the future of the Mormons in the United States. And the prophecy goes on as to say that go to the Rocky Mountains and be a great and mighty people. It identified figuratively with the white horse described in Revelation of the Apostle John. It says the prophecy further predicted that the U.S. Constitution will one day hang like a thread and will be saved by the efforts of the white horse. And this was shrouded in a deep secrecy, but by the estimates, about $17 trillion worldwide, and includes an estimate of $7 billion in donations, plus the massive land holdings of property. Records show that it includes land in 2,825 counties in the United States. That the church holds titles to lands under various different names, which is also refused to disclose, as it virtually impossible to determine independently how much property that the church owns. It says under the Federation Law on Freedom of Conscience and Religious Associations, the FSB, experts say that the registration documents provided by the Mormon Church show that it's a global membership of over 15 million, all of whom, under their religions, tenets, and structures, hold the community property beliefs, meaning, in essence, that the money and the land owned by each individual member is also owned by the church. And so globally economically powerful is that the Mormon Church is that even in the State Council of the People's Republic of China was forced to recognize it and allow its growth in a nation not known to be a bastion of religious freedom. Even more concerning, though, that at least to the United States, the Mormon Church associated with China, that this report states that the moves to transfer its tremendous wealth to China, long-awaited international payment system to process cross-border yen transactions that is now ready and may be launched as early as September or October. And as the world is now set to enter the most chaotic and destructive economic depression in history, this report further warns that America's labor force alone has soared to 92.3 million unemployed. Okay, because this tells you, amongst other things, what I have witnessed in the stock market. If they keep the oil, the cost of the oil below $50, we're in big trouble. And since the Mormon Church siding with China against the United States had been noted by Obama's regime as its home state of Utah had been targeted by the U.S. Army special operations commands by a hostile enemy state in the upcoming unprecedented war games against American citizens called Jade Helm. And this is where it all starts here. Here's Utah, the event that took place, and these are these sites here. I've got a bigger one right here that you can see. I think you can see that, this map. And it shows in the red that they're hostile, the blue is permissive, brown is uncertain, leaning towards hostile, and light blue is uncertain, leaning towards the friendly. And let me see, let me figure it out. Hold on. Okay, this is a request to conduct a realistic military training, or in other words, martial law, because they're getting ready and training for any runs, attacks on the banks, and actually it's an attack on the American citizens, because you won't be able to get your money out of the bank, guys, when this takes place, because they are planning a falsified financial collapse, and I'm sure this is coming pretty soon. And I feel pretty much like all the other events that have been taking place ever since I've been on YouTube and been talking. I'm pretty sure that this is really going to come down. So guys, you have to start preparing now. If you do have a little bit of money now, use it to your best. That's all I can say. It says the Commander of the United States seeks a written invitation approval for local officials to conduct these training exercises of Jade Helm 15. And this gives what is the realistic training, and this is a PDF file I'm looking at. It says risk assessment, medical and communication plans, MOU, MOA, and licensing agreements of training areas. So they're training in different areas on what about airfield, drop zones, landing zones, and so forth. Letters of invitations. Coordinations with local, state, and federal law enforcement, and so on. Jade Helm is a challenging 8-week joint military unconventional warfare exercise that is conducted throughout Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Nevada, Utah, and Colorado. The Jade Helm is a U.S. Special Operations Command. It sponsors exercise to improve, they say, a national security strategy. And who and where participants are all your U.S. forces will be in on these actually for real warfare attacks on American citizens. And like I said, this is the map that you just saw. And you can study this map. You can stop and study it, because I'm getting close out of time. And it says, why Texas? It says the United States has conducted numerous exercises in Texas because Texans are historically supportive of efforts to provide soldiers and all to fight enemies of the United States. Who's the enemy? We are, and so on. So I'm at the end, so I'm going to have to finish off in another video again. And I'm almost there, I think. And I'll see you there. Bye.